Moving back to local news, President Mahinda Rajapaksa launched the National Policy on Human Resources and Employment this morning.
Senior Minister for Human Resources D.W. Gunasekara presented the first copy of the National Policy on Human Resources and Employment to the President at Temple Trees this morning. A group of ministers and parliamentarians and the resident representative of the International Labour Organization in Sri Lanka and the Maldives, Donglin Lee, were present at the event.
Representing the family of the late Bharata Lakshman Premachandra in court today, attorney at law Upul Kumara Peruma said that the only reason for the dragging on of the case pertaining to the killing of 4 people, including Bharata Lakshman Premachandra, is political influence. Kumara Peruma made this statement when the suspects in the incident were produced before Colombo Additional Magistrate Prasanna Alves today.
Kumara Peruma told court that political influence was being exerted due to the involvement of MP Duminda Silva, who is one of the chief suspects in the case. Representing Duminda Silva in court, President's counsel Hemantha Warnakula Surya said that the slain Bharata Lakshman Premachandra was also a politician. However, Kumara Peruma argued that political interference in the case increased as a result of the involvement of Duminda Silva and not as a result of the slain Premachandra. Responding to this, Warnakula Surya stated that Silva was shot at first in the incident. At this point, Kumara Peruma questioned the basis on which such a statement can be made when the evidence in the case is yet to be presented. Representing the suspect R. Gamini in court today, attorney at law Jagat Aberatna sought bail for the suspect, stating that he was in a helpless situation and faced the prospect of losing his job. Refusing the request, the magistrate ordered that the suspects be further remanded until the 6th of November. At the beginning of this case, the skilled officers of the Criminal Investigations Department said that Duminda Silva was shot at 2 minutes into the incident, over several seconds, so it took a fair amount of time for everything to take place. Therefore, we hope to bring these facts to the attention of the Attorney General, and we believe that he will arrive at a fair decision.
A lie will never become the truth. At the same time, until it is proved in court as to who is guilty, we cannot say who is right and who is wrong. I would like to clearly state that they should not try to hoodwink the people. The lawyers on that side cannot continue to lie this way. A year has passed and someday the truth will come out. No matter how unpalatable the truth is, no matter how much they do not like it, the truth is the truth. Until we receive justice, I will definitely continue to fight.
UNP Deputy Leader MP Sajith Premadasa says that the recently passed Local Government Elections Amendment Act violates the rights of women and youth in the country. He made this statement at a media briefing today.
If protecting the rights of people who reside in a country is true patriotism, then I would like to state that the recent Local Government Elections Amendment Act, which was passed in Parliament, violates in broad daylight the rights of the young generation and women. When the rights of women and the youth were being brought to the edge of destruction, I did not see the massive patriotic movement in this country raising a voice on their behalf. Through the passage of this act in Parliament, the government has successfully reduced youth representation from 40% to 0%.
The United National Party convened a media briefing in Colombo today. These are some of the views that were expressed at this briefing.
When considering the mudslinging campaign that the government has undertaken against the Chief Justice, it is clear that the government is attempting to use fear and threats to interfere and obtain favourable verdicts from the courts. The government is engaged in a continuous program to drive fear into the judiciary. Regardless of the many opinions, the UNP is prepared to come forward in this fight to protect the judiciary. Since we are in touch with many in the government, we know that a majority within the government does not approve of this campaign. There seems to be a problem with the enforcement of the law in this country because the group which attacked the mosque in Dambulla is still roaming freely. If the government had the ability on that day itself to arrest those involved and enforce the law, then we could have stopped this by now. At a time when a climate has come about where a national unity can be created, instead of building on it, the government has begun to act according to the needs of extremist elements within the government.
ඇති වෙලා තියෙන මොහොතක ඒක හදන්නේ නැතුව මේ ආණ්ඩුවේ ඇතුලේ ඉන්න අන්තවාදී පිරිස්වල උවමනාවල් වලට අද ආණ්ඩුව වැඩ කරන්න පටන් අරන් තියෙනවා.
Former parliamentarian Upali Amarasiri says that under the leadership of Ranil Wickremesinghe, the UNP has been taken towards a dictatorship. He points out that when power is consolidated in one person, even instances of betrayal for money could take place.
රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මහත්මයා ඒකාධිපතිත්වයට එහෙම නැත්නම් ෆැසිස්ට්වාදයට ගෙනියන පක්ෂයක් වෙනවා.
Ranil Wickremesinghe is taking this party towards a dictatorship or fascism. We wish to reiterate that it is not good for the leadership of the UNP for power to be consolidated around one person. When power is consolidated around one person, bad things can happen. This individual could become a slave to money or bribery. He could engage in betrayal. Things like this have happened. Therefore, we would like to state our opposition to the UNP becoming a dictatorship. I wish to reiterate that the UNP has continuously lost 29 elections. If an election is lost, that means that the people do not approve of what is taking place. My friend Ranga said something very appropriate. If the opposition is speaking of how Sri Lanka has come to the finals and lost 4 times, and if they are alleging that the matches were fixed, then they also must inquire into whether there was election fixing in the 29 election defeats suffered by the UNP. Former Deputy Minister Vincent Dias charges that former UNP parliamentarians are yet to receive invitations for the party convention. However, UNP General Secretary Thisata Nayaka recently stated that only nominated representatives would be allowed to attend the convention. When considering the participation of representatives at the convention, only nominated representatives will be able to attend. If they wish to increase the leadership tenure to 6 years and they are not inviting party seniors and former parliamentarians for the convention in the belief that they would not support it, then that is unethical. There is another month left and we hope that within this time frame the leadership will arrive at a decision and issue invitations to our association of former MPs. If not, we need to know why.
On to a story that made the headlines tonight. Now, General Secretary of the Citizens Front, parliamentarian J. Sri Ranga, participated in an event at the Nugegoda Tamil Vidyalaya today.
General Secretary of the Citizens Front, MP J. Sri Ranga, was the chief guest at the Saraswati Puja organized by the Nugegoda Tamil Vidyalaya in view of the Navaratri festival.
இந்த A-level O-level படிக்கிற பிள்ளைகளுக்கு தெரியும் மேத்ஸ்ல ஃபெயில் விட்டீங்களாக இருந்தால்
You who are studying for your O-levels and A-levels know that if you fail mathematics, there is a job for you in ministries and government offices to serve tea and carry files around. That is the position of a peon. Even for that position, they are asking for a pass in mathematics. But the minister who drinks the tea has failed mathematics. This is the qualification needed to become a minister.
அதை நீங்க பார்த்தீர்கள் என்றால் அதற்கு கேட்பார்கள் மேத்ஸ்ல கிரெடிட் இருக்க வேண்டும். ஆனால் அந்த தேத்தனியை வாங்கி கொடுக்கிற அமைச்சருக்கு மேத்ஸ்ல ஃபெயில் இருந்தா காணும்.
UNP parliamentarian Ravi Karnanayaka visited Kimalavela in Totalaga last night to look into the well-being of people affected by floods in the area.
Ravi Karnanayaka spoke with the flood-affected people and inquired about their immediate requirements. The parliamentarian provided milk packets to the affected people.
Well, with that, we go in for a short commercial break.
Stay with news first.